Welcome back to Saving the Republic with Joe State and presented by Grab Your Gear Network, where we speak to people who get up and work hard every single day. Trades workers and merit shop workers, this channel and this network is for you. Here on Saving the Republic, we bring you 3 episodes a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings, breaking down the news stories that impact you the most that you probably won't hear about in the mainstream news cycle. So if you're interested in finding out about the news that actually matters, make sure you follow the channel here. Subscribe here to Grab Your Gear. We also have a docuseries that is coming out in 4 parts. I think we have a 5th part coming, but part 4 was just released on our YouTube channel at Grab Your Gear. The Union Hustle, which exposes fraud in America's unions. You need to go check it out now. It's great. We have clips up on our Instagram and TikTok as well at Grab Your Gear. So, with that being said, let's get into today's news. Now, we are 15 days, T-minus 15 days removed from the presidential election. And a couple big events that recently happened have been shaping the narrative, have been affecting the potential outcome of the election, the forecast, in a very good way for President Trump. And that's what we're going to lead with today. Our main story is the shifting narrative, the shifting outlook for the 2024 election. We are seeing Kamala Harris's odds and also her image that the media has tried to paint of her crumble before our very eyes. President Trump has taken a commanding lead following a couple things. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is President Trump's McDonald's visit, right? Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm sure you did. It was all over the news coverage yesterday. But President Donald Trump went to McDonald's and worked the fryer, right? Because we've seen Kamala Harris claim she worked at McDonald's. There's no proof to prove it. And Donald Trump decided to humble himself, go to McDonald's, and have people come through the drive-thru for some pretty outstanding and just amazing interactions there in the drive-thru window. But there's like an iconic photo of him waving outside the drive-thru that I'm going to try to pull up for you guys here in a second. But what a move by Donald Trump to do this. And I'm going to show you guys first the odds here on Polymarket. So you can see here, just incredible. Polymarket sitting at a 63.5% chance for Donald Trump to win the presidency just 15 days out. 15 days. Kamala Harris sitting at a 36% chance. And what's really remarkable here, guys, if you look at this, is Pennsylvania's odds are absolutely skyrocketing for the former president. 60-40 is higher than I've seen in any close presidential election here. It's basically a lean Republican state at this point. The effort, and this is what I will say, the effort that the Republicans have been doing, specifically Scott Presler, Turning Point USA, even the likes of Antonio Brown working with Turning Point USA to register Republican voters, are absolutely killing the ground game, guys. And it's just amazing to see this. It's so incredible. And we got to give a lot of credit. Now, we will have to wait and see what the result is, obviously, but things are looking really good for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. Also here you can see Arizona sitting at a 72% chance for the president. That's where the money is. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, Arizona is essentially in the likes of, I would say, Ohio and Florida, but they're actually pretty heavily to Trump as well. But leaning toward a very heavy Republican state, and even Michigan and Wisconsin here at a 57% chance, according to the people, to go for Trump. Georgia, 70-30, essentially, North Carolina as well. And so we're seeing the narrative begin to change, right? Kamala Harris, and this is what we're going to see here on Twitter, but she's losing momentum fast, all right? Trump did the McDonald's stunt, capture the news cycle, and here's the photo, as you guys can see, of the former president working the McDonald's window. Pretty iconic there. But this is what I mean right here. Mark Cuban is now saying, oh, I'm open to working with the Trump administration. Now, Mark Cuban has been vocally outspoken against Donald Trump for, years at this point, right? I think he was wanting to have a spot in the former administration the first time around, and he didn't get it. And so he got kind of salty about that, and he's been very outspoken. He's been going, guys, Mark Cuban has been campaigning for Kamala Harris, okay? He's been very outspoken against Donald Trump. And now all of a sudden, he's changing tune. Now, why is that? Well, you might say right here. These odds are getting very tilted here, very uneven here toward the former president. The McDonald's stunt captured the news cycle. People loved it. It's blowing up on social media. And you can see here him from Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks saying, some in the press called Trump's McDonald's photo op bizarre. This is how you lose credibility. That was a home run photo op. He looked like a real person there connecting with the average American. If you can't see that, you're totally blind. And we got to give Cenk some credit. right? We know he's pretty radical most times, but you know what? He's speaking the truth here. The press is trying. They don't understand, guys. They don't understand you, the American voter, all right? This is why Donald Trump is doing so well. And it's really shaping up to be an interesting election. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I've seen several states saying prepare to not have results for several days following the election, which that's concerning. But states like Nevada, where Republicans are killing the early vote, I've seen numbers out of Nevada showing a double-digit, tens of thousands of vote lead for Republicans in the state of Nevada, which has gone blue the past several elections. Even in 2016, I believe, when President Trump won the election, these states are really showing a heavy shift toward Republicans. And so we're going to have to wait and see how the election turns out. But things are looking really interesting. The main story, though, like I said, is the momentum shift that we are witnessing, guys. So keep your eye on this. It's going to be incredible to see how this folds out. I don't want to make any super hardcore predictions, but I do have my money on Donald Trump right now. And mainly because of the way the media is reacting. I've seen articles from The Economist saying, why is Kamala Harris losing momentum? I've seen articles from CNN saying, what's going on? Why is it not obvious? And actually, there's an interesting twist here that you guys might want to pay attention to just to wrap up the show from 60 Minutes. And that is, I guess you can see I pulled it up, but they got caught red-handed with editing the Kamala Harris interview. And now they're coming out making a statement saying they cut it up, they didn't deceitfully edit it, and they're trying to cover their butt because CBS receives government money, and they agree to receive this money to report fairly and honestly, and not to skew toward one political party. But clearly, they are tilting toward Kamala Harris with the editing of that interview. And so the statement is interesting. They say, remember, Mr. Trump pulled out of his interview with 60 Minutes and the vice president participated. Our long-standing invitation to former President Trump remains open. If you would like to discuss the issues facing the nation in the Harris interview, we'd be happy to have him. And the problem is this, guys. The problem is the last time that Donald Trump went on 60 Minutes with Leslie, I don't even know her last name, but the white-haired chick, she was saying that the Hunter Biden story was disinformation. It's not true, right? So why would Trump go back on there? Why? What does he have to gain? It's going to be very combative. It's going to be very disagreeing. I don't blame him for not going. So 15 days out. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who's going to take this thing? I mean, really, it's anybody's cake at this point. We have Elon Musk going around doing town halls in Pennsylvania. Pretty incredible to see that. I'm probably going to be covering that in the coming days. We also have a very special guest joining the show this week in Mark Rogers, host and founder of the Voice of College Football Network. But he's also a patriot, also a Christian who loves this nation. And so he's going to be joining us to talk some politics and talk some culture and worldview. And so make sure you tune in for that. I think he's going to be joining us on Friday's show. So tune in Friday at 6:30 p.m. here on YouTube at Grab Your Gear. Again, we have a part 4 of our docuseries that just went live, The Union Hustle, Exposing Fraud in America's Unions. Make sure you check that out. You don't want to miss it. A great documentary that you must see, and share it with anybody who needs to see that because it's very important stuff. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. We really appreciate you watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe here for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.